It was a quiet, rainy evening, the kind when the sky seems to whisper instead of rumbling with thunder. A gentle rain tapped softly against the windows, and warm yellow light in the houses along the street glowed like sleepy fireflies. 8-year-old Luna was walking home slowly. Her small boots splashed in shallow puddles. She had stayed late at her art club, and the rain had begun completely unexpectedly. Luna wasn't very afraid of the rain, but today she felt tired, the kind of tiredness that seeps all the way into your bones. It hadn't been the best day. That morning she spilled juice on her drawing. She forgot the answer to a question she actually knew, and in the cafeteria, her favorite seat was taken. Luna tried to smile, as she always did, but now, as the rain soaked her sleeves, her shoulders sank without her noticing. Cool drops slid down her cheeks like thin silver threads. Her jacket grew heavy, and her hair clung softly to her face. Luna sighed and hugged her drawing album tighter. "I just want to be somewhere warm," she whispered. As if hearing her, the world responded. Luna turned the corner and saw her house. The windows glowed softly, and warm light spilled across the wet asphalt. A feeling of relief spread through her chest like a slow, calm yawn. She hurried inside. The door closed quietly behind her, and everything instantly felt peaceful. The house smelled of clean laundry and a hint of vanilla. Somewhere, a clock ticked slowly, patiently counting time. Luna took off her shoes and tiptoed upstairs. She put on her softest pajamas, the ones covered in tiny stars, and climbed into bed. The blanket was warm and safe, like quiet hugs. The rain continued to rustle evenly outside the window. Luna stared at the ceiling, letting her thoughts drift slowly. And then she noticed something unusual. By the window, where the curtain brushed the floor, a small glowing figure shimmered softly. Luna blinked. Hovering just above the carpet was a tiny silver owl. Its feathers looked as if they were woven from moonlight, and its round eyes glowed gently and calmly. The owl slowly tilted its head and blinked at Luna. "Hello," Luna whispered, feeling no fear at all. The owl let out a soft, melodic hoot and drifted toward the window. When it touched the wall with its wing, a thin, glowing line appeared, the outline of a door Luna had never seen before. The door glowed softly, like a reflection on water. The owl turned back and waited. Luna hesitated only for a moment. Inside her, everything felt warm and calm, as if she knew for certain that everything was happening exactly as it should. She climbed out of bed and walked toward the door. When Luna opened it, silver light gently poured out, wrapping around her like a lullaby. Inside was a small platform, peacefully floating in the air. The owl settled beside her. The platform began to rise, slowly, smoothly, and Luna felt her worries and concerns begin to melt away like leaves on water. The rain, the long day, the small disappointments, everything dissolved into silence. Higher and higher until the light softened and the platform came to a stop. Luna stepped into a place she had never seen before. She found herself in a floating night garden high in the sky. Soft blue flowers glowed along winding paths. Tall trees swayed without wind, their leaves shimmering like quiet stars. The sky was deep and endless, painted in shades of night. Everything around her was calm, unhurried, cozy. A warm voice sounded behind her. "Welcome." Luna turned and saw an elderly woman with kind eyes and silver hair braided into a loose plait. She wore a long cloak that shimmered like night clouds. "I am the guardian of the garden," she said gently. "Tired hearts come here to rest." Luna felt something tighten in her chest and then ease. They walked slowly through the garden, and Luna noticed that some of the flowers glowed very faintly. "Why are they fading?" she asked softly. The guardian knelt beside one of the flowers. "Sometimes," she said, "they forget how bright they are." She handed Luna a small glass watering can filled with shimmering light. "Will you help me?" Luna nodded. As she watered the flowers with light, they began to glow again, softly at first, then brighter and warmer, until the entire garden shone more brilliantly than before. With each flower, Luna felt a warm light ignite inside her as well. The guardian smiled. "See? Even on difficult days, your light never disappears. It is always with you." Luna felt calm, safe, sleepy. The garden slowly faded away, and before she realized it, she was back in her bed. The rain tapped quietly against the glass. She smiled, closed her eyes, and drifted into the deepest, coziest sleep. And somewhere high above the clouds, the night garden glowed just a little brighter. But Luna's story did not end there. While she slept, the rain outside the window grew quieter. The drops fell less and less often, as if they too were beginning to fall asleep. Luna's breathing was even and calm, and her dreams were soft like clouds. In her sleep, she felt once again that warm sense of peace that filled the night garden. This time, she wasn't surprised. Everything around her felt familiar and safe. The silver owl sat nearby on the branch of a glowing tree. It quietly spread its wings and looked at Luna with wise eyes. "You did well today," the air itself seemed to whisper. Luna smiled in her sleep. Deep in the garden, new little lights slowly began to appear. They were tiny fireflies. They showed up whenever someone on Earth fell asleep with a warm heart. Each firefly meant someone's peaceful dream. Luna watched as they gently rose into the air and dissolved into the night sky. "We all get tired sometimes," the guardian's voice sounded softly. "Even the kindest and brightest among us." Luna felt those words wrap around her like a blanket. The most important thing is to allow yourself to rest. The garden filled with a quiet chime, like a distant bell. It was the sound of peace, the sound of sleep. Luna lay down right on the soft grass, which glowed beneath her with a warm blue light. The ground felt warm and steady. She closed her eyes within the dream and sank even deeper. At that very moment, her real body in bed shifted slightly, settling more comfortably. The blanket rose and fell gently with her breathing. The rain stopped completely. The night watched over her sleep, and somewhere in the sky, the night garden continued to glow, quietly, patiently, for everyone who needed rest. The story slowly fades, breathing becomes steady, thoughts grow calm, and sleep gently carries you deeper and deeper. The silence grew even deeper. It was not empty. On the contrary, it was full. In this silence, there were no worries, no haste, no expectations, only calm. Luna breathed slowly, inhale and a gentle exhale. Each breath filled her body with warmth. Each exhale carried away the last traces of tiredness. In the night garden, the light grew softer and dimmer. Flowers closed their petals, trees seemed to nod as they fell asleep, and the fireflies dissolved into the sky one by one. The silver owl took flight and made a slow circle above the garden, quietly, soundlessly, guarding the peace. The guardian of the garden stopped at the very edge of light and shadow. "Sleep peacefully," her voice sounded, barely audible. "You are safe." and now the sleep became truly deep. Luna no longer saw, heard, or felt anything except gentle comfort. Her body felt heavy and relaxed, as if it had completely trusted the night. And in the room, everything was just as quiet. The curtains swayed slightly in the night air. Outside the window, clouds drifted slowly across the sky. The house was asleep. If someone were to look into Luna's room now, they would see a peaceful child with steady breathing and a faint smile on her lips. Sometimes the most ordinary days turn out to be the most important ones. They are the ones that teach us to pause and to rest. And if it rains again tomorrow, that will be good too, because after the rain, the world always feels cleaner. And inside each of us, there is always a quiet light. Luna settled comfortably on a cloud, feeling the soft light wrap around her from all sides. A little hedgehog sat beside her, quietly radiating its gentle glow, while the owl watched from the edge as if guarding her sleep. Suddenly, the cloud began to drift slowly across the sky, carrying Luna and her friends to a new place, a moonlit garden with floating lanterns. Each lantern looked like a tiny star, swaying gently, creating the feeling of a magical dance of light. Luna walked on the soft grass, and the lanterns quietly accompanied her. She noticed that some of them were dim, as if tired. Moving closer, Luna lifted her hand, and her warmth gradually made the lanterns shine brighter, as if they were thanking her for her care. The hedgehog softly twitched its nose, and the owl hooted quietly, confirming, "You are doing everything right." Luna smiled and felt an extraordinary peace in her heart. At the center of the garden stood a crystal-clear lake, its water glowing with all the shades of the night sky. Luna knelt at the edge and saw her reflection. In its depths, she saw not only herself, but all the moments when she had been brave, kind, and radiant. "Is this all me?" Luna whispered. "Yes," the lanterns, the owl, and the hedgehog quietly replied. Her inner light had always been with her. Luna took a soft breath and felt her body completely relax. The worries and fatigue of the day melted away. Even the rain outside now seemed part of this magical story, gently rocking her in sleep. The clouds slowly descended again, returning Luna to her bed. She felt the soft light settle with her, filling the room with calm. Luna snuggled under the blanket, hugging the hedgehog in her dream, while the owl quietly flew away, leaving a soft glow on the windowsill. She closed her eyes, and the magical garden, moonlit river, and floating lanterns faded into her dream, leaving a feeling of warmth, comfort, and absolute peace. And now her sleep grew even deeper and calmer, with the night watching over little Luna so she could rest completely. Luna opened her eyes in her dream again and noticed that her room was filled with a soft glow, as if reflecting a moonlit river. The little hedgehog sat quietly beside her, and the owl circled gently above her bed. Suddenly, Luna felt a light breeze and heard a faint call. It was the enchanted forest in the clouds, a place she had never seen before. The owl softly flapped its wings, showing her the way. Luna stood and followed the light, which led her straight to the forest. In the forest, every tree was extraordinary. The bark glowed and the leaves swayed softly, producing melodic sounds, as if the night itself was singing a lullaby. Tiny fireflies flitted between the branches, lighting the path, while the soft grass beneath her feet felt the most pleasant in the world. Luna walked through the forest, the hedgehog accompanying her. She noticed a small pond reflecting the moonlight where all her happiest moments shimmered. Luna knelt and hugged her knees, smiling quietly. Her heart was warm and filled with complete peace. The owl hooted softly, and the forest began to glow gently all around. The branches and leaves seemed alive, swaying softly, creating the feeling that the entire forest was watching over her with care. Luna slowly lay down on the soft grass and felt her body completely relax. The wind, the light, and the gentle whispers of the forest lulled her, as if a mother were tucking her into bed. Everything bad that had happened during the day melted away, leaving only a sense of comfort and safety. The enchanted forest slowly faded, and Luna felt herself gently lowering back into her bed. She closed her eyes and let herself drift into the deepest, most peaceful sleep, while a tiny firefly that had flown nearby quietly disappeared into the darkness, leaving a soft glow behind.